Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface, and I've got something very, very special for you today. I've managed to fortunately find myself in one of the new scenarios. Now, what is a scenario? Well, first of all, you have to be maximum level, which is now level 90. And secondly, it's a mini dungeon that doesn't necessarily involve the need to have a tank or a healer present with you. In actual fact, all three of the people in this scenario are DPSs, myself included. We've got a mage, we've got a paladin, and we've got myself, who is a warlock. The brewmaster, who we're escorting as part of stage 1 of this scenario, is acting as both healer and tank. As you saw, he drops this sort of turquoisey brew on the floor, and if you need healing, you just stand in it and it heals you for a significant amount of health. And as you can see, we're pumping some serious damage at these mobs, but his threat generation levels seem to be sufficient to hold them off of us, which is excellent indeed. So the first part is simply to get this guy to the beach, and very keen-eyed viewers might have seen that my Rain of Fire circle was absolutely ginormous. The reason why is because when I dinged level 90, there we go again, I decided to spec into Manaroth's Fury as my main ability. Now, what that does is it increases the radius of my AoE spells by 200%. So I can really capture a lot of mobs in my AoE now. And because I'm Destruction spec, Rain of Fire is also just an instant spell, which really, really helps. So there we go. We've got Brewmaster Boo to the beach. We've now activated Stage 2. Now, this is the first time we're here. So you'll have to forgive us. We were a little bit what we're meant to be doing. And what we have to do is we now have to go around the island picking up kegs to fill the cauldron, which Brewmaster Boo is currently stood over. But there are things which are going on to try and prevent us from doing so. And first of all, we have this full frontal assault of Hosen on the beachy head. And secondly, we have Hosen patrols all around the island who are going to try and stop us from getting hold of the kegs. There we go, I've just grabbed one. And I'm just seeing if I can pick up two, but I can't. You can only pick up one at a time. Then you just run back to the beach, and the keg will automatically leave you back and go into the cauldron. There are just other ways to prevent the Hosen from getting at you other than using direct attack spells. And you might have seen I picked up one of these bombs and threw them at the Hosen, and that does do a significant amount of damage. A little bit later on, I'm going to help out the Paladin by jumping onto the cannon and doing some pretty hefty DPS on there. Now, as a Warlock, I did discover that having Burning Rush was an absolute blessing in disguise for a scenario like this, because I could get from A to B pretty quickly. Although, I don't want to call it Burning Rush, I want to call it Suicide Run. Suicide Dash. And the reason for that is it takes off 3% of your health every second that it's active, but it does increase your speed by 50% until it's cancelled. So here we go, I'm jumping onto the cannon to help out the Paladin. Bang, there you go, look at that. I think I've killed them all apart from one. There you go, and it's dead now. So that's a very good way to get rid of the Hosen. All of the island itself, we're not sure if you can access because we stayed in a very, very specific, tight area. Although, I did discover something here, which was a zip line to a ship. And I'm going to return to that in a moment. And what this has made me believe, or the possibility anyway, is although this is the Unga Ingoo scenario, it might not be the same every single time of doing it. And the reason why I say that is because when I go back to that zip line, I zip myself onto a ship. And on the ship was a level 92 elite who was a cook, I believe. And all across his deck was vegetables and such and so forth. So we didn't actually play with him at all. So there'd be no reason for him to be there if he wasn't going to be part of a scenario. So maybe the stages differ, or maybe when you go to Unga Ingoo, there are different scenarios within this level. So that's a very, very interesting thing I'll be willing to find out. So tomorrow I'm going to try and run this instance a few times, God permitting. And the reason why I say that is because I am so fortunate to be in here right now. At the moment, when you're queuing up for level 90 heroics and level 90 scenarios, it's been freezing on the loading screen, and it's been holding your character in there for literally hours. There's somebody who's been stuck for nearly 2 days on the loading screen, the poor guy. So here we go. I've activated the zip line. I've landed on this ship, and here we have this level 92 Uki, who is a chef. Now I'm standing here thinking, guys, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because I thought I preempted the fact that we're going to fill up the tank to 100, but nope. So I have to run back with a keg and finish the job myself. Hey, if you want to do a job properly, do it yourself, eh? Only kidding. These guys were very good in what they did. So there we go. I'm chucking the final keg in, and it now activates stage 3. So I actually, by mistake, went back to Uki, thinking it was him, but it's not. It's Captain Ook. Yeah. Really went to town with the names. Uki, Ook, Uki, Ook. Anywho, the third and final stage is now a boss fight between us 3 DPSs and Captain Uki. The brewmaster isn't participating in this. In actual fact, he stood by the keg, pretty much passed out, sleeping. Now, what you saw on the Paladin was these eyes, and it looks like Captain Uki had some sort of fixate or something on him, and that's why he's decided to run away and get out of his range. But he doesn't seem to be taking much damage, and we do burn down Captain Ook in next to no time. Now, that was the end of the scenario. It was genuinely good fun, although no loot dropped at all from any of the mobs, which I'm hoping is going to change, because if you just do the scenario and get 50 Valor points and then a little bit of gold for that, it is going to feel a bit blimey. I've heard of banana boats. That's ridiculous. It is going to feel a little bit hollow. So fingers crossed they add a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye-bye.